Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the PTFootyPodcast. With me here today, we've got Kevin
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and Brian.
How's everybody doing?
And obviously, might as well introduce myself. I'm Peter, your host. Hey. As you can see, Alex can't be here with us again. Apparently, he's sick, and I mean, I don't blame him after what happened.
Gimerangitis.
Laryngitis, that's a good one. And we're still gonna talk sporting, even though I know that both of you didn't watch the game. So, but I don't really want to touch upon uh, the game all that much with you guys because I think you can handle it. But I'm gonna start with their lineup. Obviously, it's still a strong lineup. They played Rui Patricio, Scaloto, Medo Coates, and Marvin. William and Adrian Silva, Brian Ruiz, Gelson, Markovic starting for the first time, and Bas Dost were the 11 on the field. As y'all know, Adrian Silva came off injured around the 30-minute mark. He was the one that put the ball out of play. It looked serious, and it's going to be serious. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's a big blow for Sporting, and we're going to talk about it in a moment. But about the game, it was a weird one because Guimarães started off well, but then as soon as the Sporting started to have the possession, they dominated the game. Obviously, got 2 goals. One of them, I think Douglas could have done better, and then they go losing 2-0 at halftime. Then 70-minute mark, Elias shoots from 30 yards out, another howler by Douglas, and it's 3-0. And what we're thinking is that the game is done. But shortly after, they get a penalty by Hernani, which played well, at least in my opinion. For you to know. And Marega slotted it home. The next moment, Marega once again makes it 2-3, and from then on, they just pressed on and ended up getting the equalizer. The big thing here is how Sporting wasted a 3-0 lead, right, guys? I mean, watching the game for myself, I couldn't really believe it, but they've done it again, and they dropped 5 points in 3 weeks, and that's huge, ain't it, Kevin?
Yeah, that is big. Every point does matter. I mean, at least they got a point out of it. But I think that if the game had a few more minutes left in it, Guimarães probably could have came away with the win, with the momentum going their way. So, it was a bit lucky for Guimarães to even come back with the amount of time they had left. I didn't really watch the game, you already said that. So, yeah, I don't really have much to add to the game besides, that's a big letdown. If I was a Sporting fan, I'd be so pissed right now. How do you blow a 3-0 lead? That's once you get to 2-0 on the road,
Yeah.
and the way that Sporting were playing, that should have been right there. Game over, guaranteed 3 points, and then even scoring the third one, making it 3-0, that pretty much sealed the deal, you would think. Especially, what did they score, the 70th minute or something like that? 71st?
Yeah, it was in the 70th minute. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're late in the second half, kind of. And to give up 3 goals in 15 minutes, I mean, geez, where did it all go wrong? What happened? I think they might have switched off and thought that, guaranteed 3 points, and they were heading into the international break. It's tough, and I don't know if it's entirely the coach's fault. I don't know if it's George's fault entirely. You got to put the blame on the players too, because they know that they have to pull the win off. When it's 3-1, you're like, all right, they scored a goal. When it's 3-2, you're like, oh shit, they're
And
coming back.
the biggest
Yeah, go ahead.
issue was that it was back-to-back goals. In 1 minute, they scored twice, and they were just like, "What the hell just happened here?"
Yeah, so the mentality. I'm sure that Jorge Jesus was aware what could have happened. The worst case scenario when it did. So you can't put the blame entirely on the coach. I think the players, uh, they have to take most of the blame for this, because the mentality, you're like I was just saying, 3-2, you're like, oh man, we gotta hunker down here. We gotta be smart, hold the ball, play it safe. and that didn't happen. And then, they ended up conceding the third goal, which I think the third goal shouldn't have counted. There was a push off on Swaj.
Even Georges said that Marvin shouldn't have gone down that easily. But
I
fair
think
enough, if you
he
think
pushed
it
off
is.
though. That's just the point. He doesn't have to go down, but it was definitely a push off. And in my eyes, like in my opinion, I think that did interfere with the play.
Yeah,
Because
but
had he not pushed him off, who knows if the Sporting defender would have got to it first, which I think it was Coates, I believe.
yeah,
Scalotto.
but
Scalotto. So he's
Yeah,
pretty tall, him and Coates. That's why I was a little confused there. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that third goal, it shouldn't have counted, but in the same token, there was a penalty that should have been called against Sporting, and it wasn't called. So, here
and it
we
was
go with the
2-0.
inconsistency again.
Yeah, it was 2-0. It could have changed the whole game. It was a little bit early, like 55 minutes in. But I don't think they can blame the referee. I don't think they should either.
No,
Uh,
no, not
I
enough.
think George just took a little while to make an offensive substitution. Like he only subbed in Proncesa when they were already 3-2, and I think after the goal, he should have changed it up a little bit, like saying, "Okay, we're winning 3-0, but we're gonna still attack. We're still gonna push forward." And I think it was that problem that they had because they tried switching when it was 3-2, but it was already a Guimarães game. They were already all over the ball and creating chances. So Sporting were like they were desperate. They looked yeah, they looked desperate. And even Jorge when he was 3-0, he was already apprehensive, which I thought it was weird, but he was always looking onto the pitch like he's seeing something that he shouldn't see. He looked very worried, and yeah, they ended up dropping points. Brian, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's just pretty much like everybody else. I mean, to be up 3-0 with basically just 15 minutes left and let it slip. When I saw that it was 3-0, I thought the game was over, and then I checked my phone because I was at work, and it finished 3-3. I couldn't believe it myself. But yeah, I think it was a few things like Sporting's mentality. I guess so many players just thought the game was won, which is, I guess, kind of normal when you're 3-0 up. But you don't want that to happen, obviously. And it's kind of like Kevin said, they should have probably been playing more possession football, keeping the ball, kind of similar to what Benfica does, even when we're just 1-0 up. It's not good to watch and it's not fun, but it will get the 3 points. And I disagree with Kevin with the foul and the dark goal because if you watch it again, Scalotto also pushes Marenga at the same time. So the referee could have
Marega.
called, yeah, Marega, yeah. At the same time, he pushed him. So either way, like it was difficult, but I do agree it's a foul. But Scalotto also pushed Marega, so I don't know. They can't blame the refs like we agreed. They can't blame the refs for the draw. They can only blame themselves. But yeah, they let in another 3 goals. That's the second time in just 3 weeks. So that's a big concern for them is their defense. They might be able to score, but right now they're letting in a lot of goals, way more than normal for a team with the quality of Sporting. So yeah, I'm sure the fans are a bit worried because it just seems like last year this wasn't happening, at least not at this point of the season, because Sporting was steamrolling a lot of teams last season.
Yeah, and the newspapers today come out with the news that they want Insua. And Kevin, what do you think about that?
I don't know how much he'll add to them. Um, you know, I know he was there before and he was great for them, but he hasn't been there in a while, and I don't think anybody has seen much of him, honestly. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about him. I just don't know if that's the right signing. It's almost like Porto getting Sissoko back, kind of like
Mhm.
desperate a little bit. So I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I don't know what they're thinking with Insua.
yeah. And Brian, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree with Kevin. I don't know if Insua is the right guy. Maybe they should go for somebody new, somebody different. Um, and I think the problem lies more than just buying Insua. There's something not clicking with Sporting's defense right now. And I think that comes down to the coach, it comes down to the players. So even buying Insua, will it make a huge difference? I'm sure he's going to add some quality, but overall, it's something else that's just not working for them right now.
Mm-hmm. And last thing, to talk about Sporting is what to say about Carlos Mané. I don't know if you guys heard, but he debuted and he scored twice in 5 minutes.
I'm not surprised, honestly. I mean, we talked about this in the off season, and I did say that I liked Mané, and I think that he deserved more of a chance than what he was given. He's a great talent. I think that their wingers would have been better if you had Mané on one side and Gelson on the other. Um, but just one more point quickly on the Sporting defense. To let in 8 goals in 3 games, that's quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the defense with the center backs. I really don't know. It could be the wing backs too. I don't really know what the issue is. I mean, Semedo had one really good game this season. He showed up against Porto, and then the rest, I mean, it's kind of been like a little weak. I don't know if it's just me, if you guys agree, but
No, yeah, I agree, and it's not just him. It's as you said, the wingbacks and Schelotto looked very poor out there. He didn't look good at all, at least in my opinion. At least when it comes to defense. And
no, I
Marvin
agree. You're
wasn't that
right.
impressive as well. So it's something wrong there, and I don't think it's the center backs. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So maybe
They're
they
letting in
got
too
to
many
look into
crosses.
getting wingers. Yeah, what wingbacks? Sorry. Like João Pereira, whenever he played really well. So I don't. I understand that he wants to rotate, but when Schelotto isn't performing well, should have just kept João Pereira instead, maybe. Obviously, it's easy to talk after the game's been played, but still,
Yeah.
yeah. But I guess there ain't much to add about that. They drew, could have well lost the game that they had in the bag, so it needs to be checked out. As for the record, they also play Famalicão in 2 weeks' time. Now I don't know if it's on Sunday or
It's on the
Saturday, but
13th. The 13th, that should be a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, it is a Thursday.
Okay, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday games for the big three then. As Porto take on Gafanha, I think, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Braga. They're playing in the Aveiro Stadium.
Yep, no Estado Municipal de Aveiro. On Saturday, Benfica play 1º de dezembro. On Friday, at Estoril. And Famalicão obviously play at their own stadium because they do have a pitch good enough to reach Sporting. But moving on now to Benfica, we're gonna talk Benfica first and finish off with Porto here. Benfica obviously played Feirense. It was interesting coming into this game, Brian, because we knew that there were gonna be at least 60,000 people there after losing in Europe 4-2. What did you think? Did you think that Benfica were gonna fare so well as they did?
Yeah, I thought the players were gonna react well. With the fans coming out, that's a lot of support, especially against a team like Firenze. It's not like a huge team, but it's great that the fans came out and showed a lot of support to the team. And yeah, I thought Benfica would come back, react well. I was a little worried with no Andre Horta because that's the only player that's played in that position so far this season. But yeah, we played good. The only thing I felt was Carrillo not playing too well. But overall, it was a good game, and it was a good reaction to not losing so heavily because it finished 4-2. But I mean, it was a terrible night overall in the Champions League, of course.
So let me just give you the starting 11 as well, so you can add more to that as well when I ask you my next question. So Ederson was in goal. Again, back from that Julio Cesar performance, I'm not surprised that he's in goal. No matter what Rui Vitória says, that he's not getting dropped or whatever, or that he was fought out even before the Napoli game, I'm not sure about that, but Ederson's back in goal, and obviously glad that happened. Nelson Semedo, Luizão, getting a start a month after he played. Lindelof and Grimaldo across the back, Savio and Carrillo on the wings, as you mentioned. Feza and Pizzi as the number 8, Gedge and Mitroglou up front. Ederson's back, that's okay. And Luizão returned as well. Did he deserve to return, in your opinion, Brian?
Well, deserved. I don't know. I mean, he brings a lot of experience. I'm sure he's got the coach's trust. He's our captain, of course. So overall, I guess he deserves it. But me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Lisandro. But at the same time, I know that Louison can't really keep up with the pace. But against Firenze, I think it was a risk worth taking. I think the coach did well. I thought Louison had a good game. And so yeah, I was happy to see he came back, and he showed great spirit. He had a great game, and you know he's a captain on and off the pitch because he hasn't been complaining that he's not playing. He understands his role, so I think he deserves it because of that.
I think he deserves it because Lisandro's been awful.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I think there's like no other way about it. And even, Rui Vitória is very subtle, but he sort of said that because he
Yeah,
said that Luizão has deserved this before and it was his time to play. I think Lisandro looked very poor in the last couple of matches, and I'm not surprised that Luizão started over him. I'm just glad that it worked out well because he could have
yeah.
backfired, but it didn't. Um, and obviously, so you mentioned Carrillo, and
Mhm.
I'm a little different than you guys because I don't honestly see him do that bad. He's not obviously the player that he was at Sporting, and I think it's going to take him a while to get there, at least like until January, because he doesn't have the pace that he used to have. Because I don't think
Match
that he's
fit.
that confident. It's not just the match fitness. I think he's not that confident as well. You don't see
Mhm.
him roll on those one-on-ones all the time and like he used to. So I think he just needs to, know his teammates well, know where they'll be, and then he'll start being more confident and not be scared to lose the ball. Because you also got to think that Carreiro just broke into the first team for 2 games now, and he doesn't want to overcomplicate things. As we know, Rui Vitória is a simple man. He likes simple things. He likes simple passes. And so Carrillo was just trying to stay on Rui Vitória's good side. I think at least that's what he tried doing. Because players are always cautious when they're trying to break into the first team. Um, so I think that's also that case with Carrillo, and I'm sure that Kevin can agree with me that whenever a player is trying to break into the first team, they're always a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, and he hasn't played in a while, so he was a bit rusty. But it looks like he's starting to get his confidence back, and he's starting to get back to his old self, like he was when he was at Sporting. So I think that he just needs a little bit more time. And not only that, he has a point to prove. Kind of like a big FU to the Sporting fans and to Bruno de Carvalho for what he did and the way he treated him. So, I think these guys are going to benefit more from Carrillo. Kudos to you guys for signing them, picking them up, and being patient with them because that's the key there is being patient with them. And I think that Rui Vitória does see that. So, like I just said, kudos to you guys. And Rui Vitória is a good coach. He's a very smart man. Um, so I think these guys got a good pickup with him because he has the vision. I think for your club, and he likes to bet on the youth players like he did at Guimarães. So. Um, I would like to see them coach Portugal. That was my choice after Bento got the boot. But yeah, he's given Carrillo an opportunity, and that's only benefiting you guys because, like I just said, he's getting confident, more confident with each game that goes by, and filling in for Rafa until now. So I think that's a problem that Vitória is going to have too when Rafa is healthy again. Who's he? Obviously, I think he's going to pick Rafa over Carrillo, but then again, like if Carrillo's playing really well, like do you really want to take him out? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a good headache for you guys to have, but you know, good for Carrillo and the way he's playing. And that's all I got to say about him.
Yeah, and Brian, whenever he's on the ball, he's always very skilled. Like you can notice that, right?
Yeah.
Whenever
Mhm.
he's making those plays, so it is like I agree with you that he's not, being impressive, but he's not been bad either.
No,
I
I mean
think
he
yeah,
wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible against Firenze. But you can see, like you mentioned, that he's not really used to his teammates yet. You can see that there was a couple passes between him and Grimaldo that just didn't work. And you see that it works with Grimaldo and somebody else, but that's just because Grimaldo is used to those wingers and is not used to Carrillo. But don't get me wrong, I think Carrillo, I said this earlier on Twitter, that he will be huge come January and after that. He's going to be used to the team. When players are tired from other competitions, he's going to be able to step in and have good games. It's just right now, he went almost the whole year before playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, he's still getting used to it, still getting match fit. And of course, he's playing on the left side instead of the right. And I think if he was to play on the right side, he will look much better and much more confident. And yeah, so I think he's going to come good. He's going to come good for us.
Yeah, I agree. And I also thought that he wasn't getting lucky. A couple of his passes were going away, like he was trying to hit them, and they were going a little bit sideways. So it happens to the player as well, getting a little bit unlucky.
Yeah.
But now this one, and I want to touch upon this one for just a tiny bit here because this is important. Because I don't understand Salvio. I can't understand him. Is PZ-esque right now. He's playing well, then he's playing badly, then he's playing well, then he's playing badly. Brian, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Salvio?
Yeah, it's complicated, Salvio. I actually thought he didn't play too well against Firenze. A lot of people thought he did. I mean, obviously he ended up scoring and he worked hard, but I wanted him to get subbed off quite early in the second half. But yeah, he does have good games and then bad games. He's very inconsistent. And I'm still in full favor of letting him go in January. And because we have Zikovic and many other wingers, and I think it's probably his time to go. But if he scores, if he assists, and we have to keep him just because it's kind of like Peasy, where I personally don't really like Peasy, but somehow he always gets a goal, or somehow he always gets an assist or a good play. So, if that's happening, then they have to keep playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a little bit of a weird one. And also Zivkovic made his debut. I was very impressed.
Yeah, I mean he had a really nice run, which led to the free kick, I believe, which led to a Jack Gomez chance. But yeah, he came on, he played well. He's been injured for a long time, so for him to come on, he reminded me actually of Salvio, with the old Salvio, of course, with explosiveness, which Salvio
Yeah.
doesn't really have anymore. If Zikovic can do that and play well, I mean he can be just as good as Markovic in my opinion, if not better. He looks to have a good head on his shoulders. He looks strong as well, like his body type. So I think he's going to bring great things to us.
And that foul, that was nasty, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually, when I saw the replay, I thought maybe it could have been a red because it looked a bit two-footed and the feet were high. But yeah, I mean, he did a good job to come out, play well, especially on his home debut with 58,000 there. It's not easy. It's a lot of pressure. So I was happy to see him, and he looked good.
Yeah. And what about Grimaldo? Just words to describe him.
I mean, he's incredible. I think he's been our best left back since maybe Fabio Contron. I think Siqueira was really good for us, but Grimaldo's just been brilliant. He's been great. He knows how to attack. He defends well. He's got great crossing. He looks like a real leader as well. He looks like another leader on the pitch as well. I've just really enjoyed watching him play. And Eliseu will never see the pitch again as long as Grimaldo's fit. At least not in the big games, because Grimaldo has been absolutely incredible. I think by far the best left back in the league. Or he has to be up there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a great buy for Benfica. And I'm sure Boss is going to buy him back. I have no doubt. I hope it's not anytime soon, but I think they will.
He might not go back to Barca, at least until Luis Enrique is there, because he didn't give him a chance, and I think he's a little bit sour with them. And also something that you told me to mention is that Benfica played a little bit differently without Andre Horta, and why is that, Brian?
I just felt like the midfield didn't look as cohesive as if Andre Horta was there. I've never been a fan of Pizzi playing in the middle. Horta just seems to control things a bit better, pass the ball a bit better as well. It just didn't look as cohesive, so I'm happy that he's not going to be injured for a long time. And I just think we're much better with Horta in the middle.
Yeah, and I agree. Now, one of the last things I want to touch upon is the Lindelof issue, and I'm not sure if any of you is aware about that. Brian,
no, I haven't heard. No, I haven't. Okay. I've read a little bit, but you can tell me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So apparently, and by the way, I'm just quoting my Stubal here. Okay, this is their article. If you wanna, look it up, just go on my Stubal. Vasteras SK, I believe, Lindelof's former club, is very disappointed with Benfica, and they pressed charges at FIFA against Benfica for them not giving them 250,000 euros
Wow.
for the player, and I'm quoting here. They said that he was on his contract that he was supposed to get paid, or that they were supposed to get paid 250,000 euros after he had 10 games in the A squad. And then the vice president of Asteras, Cristina Leifner, I have no idea, sorry, I'm butchering her name, said that Benfica justifies not paying them because he signed a new contract, and thus the deal between the two clubs is invalid. Then she says that she doesn't agree, it doesn't make any sense. And then she said that this small amount that for Vasteras is huge. It's nothing for Benfica. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, I think if it kind of makes sense, maybe I'm being a bit biased, but if we did sign a new contract that didn't include that money, then that old contract no longer exists. So I don't know. I agree that 250,000 euros isn't much for us, it's a lot for them. But if Benfica, I'm sure Benfica honestly think that because he signed a new contract that no longer exists, maybe we should have informed ourselves more. We should have informed ourselves better about that. But hopefully it doesn't go too far. I don't think it will. Either Benfica will pay him off quickly, or the court will say that Benfica's right. I don't think it's too big of a deal, to be honest.
Kevin, go right ahead.
Yeah, I think these guys should pay them the money. I mean, it was stipulated in the contract, regardless if they signed a new one, because the deal was with what is it, Vasteras? Is that how you say it?
Vasteras.
Vasteras, whatever. That was the deal between Vasteras and Benfica, not Benfica and Lindelof. So just because they renewed a contract with Lindelof doesn't mean that the transfer contract from Lindelof from Vasteras to Benfica should be invalid. I think that you guys do have an obligation to pay them the 250K, and that's not being me being biased. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know what the stipulations were. I don't even know what the contract said. But if it was agreed that Lindelof plays 10 games for Benfica A squad, Benfica would pay Vasteras the 250K. That was the agreement between the teams, not with the team and the player. So I think that's where the distinction is, and I think that FIFA will probably rule in favor of Vasteras on that.
Can I throw an example in that I'm just thinking about real quick? I'm thinking with Renato Sanchez, who went to Bayern. Bayern Munich have an obligation that if he plays 25 games, we get an extra 5 million every season. Let's say, for instance, within his 5 years of contract, he plays for their B team the whole 5 seasons. And then he renews his contract after 5 seasons. And then he actually starts playing when he renews his contract. Does Bayern Munich still owe us that money? I wouldn't think so. Because for those 5 seasons, he never played. So I think we can add the same situation with Lindelof. While he had that contract, and that contract ran out, and we renewed a different one.
So it ran out?
I don't know exactly. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Maybe if it did run out...
They did renew the contract with Lindelof. That is a fact. It was renewed. I don't know how long ago, but it was renewed.
Right. So we have to get more info on that. But yeah, I agree with Kevin. I think if it ran out, then we shouldn't have to pay it. I don't know. It's a complicated situation. I'll let the lawyers decide that.
Okay, fair enough. I just decided that I should, mention that because it is a big thing, or it could be for a lot of people. So there's that. And last but not least, I want to take this moment to share our condolences once again with Benfica and Academic legend. And I'm looking at you, Chris Moreira. I believe it was you that said he was a Sporting legend as well. I gave you the props on Twitter, but he's not a Sporting legend. He played there for 2 seasons, so he's not.
Yeah, but they can consider him one too. That's
Yeah,
up to
they
them.
won.
They can try. They can try, but he's
He
a
won the
Benfica
league with
legend.
them. Yeah, but he is a
Not gonna-
Benfica legend. Yeah.
And not just us, he's also Portugal legend overall. He's one
Yeah.
like Eusebio and Coluna, always will be remembered by every single club very dearly. And I just ate dinner and I saw the news and I was devastated. I was very sad about what happened.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. At least he was 87, 86 years old. So I mean, if I get to be 86, I'm not going to be very disappointed. You know, he was born on 1929, lived all the way up to 2016. As you know, he was also very active with Benfica. Just last year, I believe, when we won, or technically still this year, but past season, when we won the Tricampeonato, we even made a video about it. And yeah, always with great words, a great man, and surely
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I have something. I just gotta make 2 points here real quick. I'll get to um, oh god, I just had a brain fart. What's his name again? Mario Wilson. Sorry, I was just thinking about something else and I just lost
Yeah.
my
It's
train of
okay.
thought. First point is, oh my god, watching that Benfica game with Feirense, not Helder Conduto, but the other guy, Stefan Schwartz. Oh my god, what a terrible commentator! Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know who was like calling the game. Like, the first thing that came to mind was like somebody with like a Jamaican accent because he kind of like sounded Jamaican. So I was like, who the heck could this be? I'm like, I'm trying to think of like old Benfica players who might have like that accent. I'm like, I can't figure it out. And then I asked Peter, and he said that it was Stefan Schwartz. I
Stefan
was like,
Schwartz. Yeah.
oh my god, my ears were like bleeding. I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, I'm glad that Benfica scored first because then I turned it off because I knew it was over then. But my condolences out to Mario Wilson, family, friends, to all the Benfica fans, and Sporting fans. You know, he was
Jamaican
uh,
fan.
Academica fans too. Also, I
Yeah.
can't forget them. So, I remember being a kid and watching the games, like a Benfica Porto game. You know, back in the day in the mid '90s, they used to give all the games on
Yeah.
RTP. So I remember watching him on the bench with that big poofy jacket, the Benfica jacket, and his
Yeah.
tracksuit. So,
And it was like every time Benfica needed a new manager, there was Mario Wilson right there to
there he
cover up the
was,
hole.
always. So, condolences out to them. Big loss for the football world, but life goes on, and he was up there in age, and I saw that interview he had when Benfica were tricampeões. I think that might have been right at the tail end of the season when you guys confirmed the title. Uh, I think, did you post that, Peter? That
Yeah. Yes, I did.
yeah. So he was speaking like a Benfica legend, I suppose. So he was a good coach. I don't know if he was a good player. That was way before my time, but
I do it before our time.
as far as being a coach, he was a good coach, and
Mhm.
may he rest in peace.
I want to finish off this topic with two decent quotes from him. One is that, and I'm gonna say it in Portuguese and then I'll translate it. It's quem vai para o Benfica arrisca-se a ser campeão, which obviously means whoever goes to Benfica risks themselves of becoming a champion. And the second one was a funny one that he said about 4 years ago, saying that eu tenho dois amores, but this is not my fault. It's not my fault. Benfica e Académica de Coimbra. So I love two clubs and Benfica.
Nice.
You'll be
Yeah.
missed, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now moving on to slightly less depressing topic. At least for Kevin here, I'm sure he's very excited about this one. Obviously, Porto played away to Nacional, and they won. They won 4-0. I mean, I watched the first half. That was about it. But Diogo Jota scored 3 times. He got a hat trick, and the perfect hat trick, as people like to call it. One with the left foot, one with the right foot, and one with a header. Those were all his goals. And André Silva topped it off, making it 4-0. And Layun almost made it 5-0 later on with a great free kick. But the lineup was the following: Casillas in goal, Layun, Felipe Marcano, and Alex Telles across the back. Danilo, Herrera, and Oliver Torres in the midfield. Otávio, Jota, and Silva, the front three. Before I ask you what you thought about the game, I want to point out that Maxi Pereira returned from his injury and played about 20 minutes. Now, what did you think of the game, Kevin?
I thought it was a great game, obviously. Very happy with Jota. It was the Jota show. I was like, this is FC Jota here in the first half. He played a very, very good game. Very happy. Made me forget about being depressed about Rafa signing with Benfica, so that was good. He was like, oh man, he was just on fire. And I think that he probably will be starting now. Corona came in well in the second half. I believe he came in the second half, Corona. What did he start?
He was injured, wasn't he? No, he didn't start.
I thought
he didn't start.
All right, he came in after though, right?
If he did, I'm not sure. I didn't watch the game, so
I wasn't even paying attention to it, to be honest.
I know that Otávio and Jota started, so there you go.
Yeah. So I wasn't really paying attention after it was 4-0. It was kind of like, just happy on cloud nine and just
yeah.
Exactly. So I'm very happy with the way they played, and I wish that they could play that way all the time. Like, this is the Porto that I know, and they dominated from beginning to the end. Otávio was Otávio. André Silva was phenomenal. Jota was just incredible. Like, I'm so happy that we have him. It's still too early to say that we're gonna purchase him. He had one good game. It doesn't mean that he's going to be this way for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so don't expect him to bang in hat tricks every single match day.
No, I'm not saying that, but just the way he was playing, So I think that we need to be a little cautious here. It was great that he got a hat trick for his first start in the league for Porto. So we're all excited about it, obviously. So that's a good thing. I think the team as a whole played very well. The defense wasn't really tested that much. Nacional had about maybe one good chance, I guess. And that was at the end of the game with Roniel, who did play for Porto B, by the way. I don't know if anybody knew that. But Roniel came up through the Porto ranks, and he just he didn't curl it. He just shot it with like the front of his foot, and it just went wide. So I think if he had curled it, he probably would have scored, would have made it 4-1. But I'm very content, very satisfied with the win. I really hope we can keep it going, because if we keep it going, especially with Benfica on the horizon, it's gonna make for like a mouth-watering match, and it'll be one of the biggest matches that we'll probably see this season. Because we're both almost neck and neck. These guys are only ahead by 3 points. We finally caught up to Sporting. I do think Sporting, with the absence of Adrian Silva, is a big blow. I think that they'll be on the decline a little bit. I mean, hell, he got subbed out with an injury, but they couldn't even hold a 3-0 lead. And I think that it was still 0-0, if I'm not mistaken, when he came off, right, Adrian Silva?
Yeah, it was shortly after they scored, yeah.
Okay, so if they scored 3 goals without him and then gave up a lead by 3 goals, that's not a good sign. So I think that they're going to have a little bit of trouble, filling in his shoes, especially him being the captain. So I do think they're going to be struggling the next couple of games. I mean, it's good that for them that we have the international break. But, going back to Porto, it was just domination from beginning to the end. And, Nuno was very happy. That's what us fans want. We want this Porto, who never takes the foot off the gas, because they have been some games where, especially after Roma, when we eliminated Roma from the Champions League, they seem to take the foot off the gas a little bit and start some of the games off slow. So I think that he addressed that, and I think the team got the message. Rather sooner than later. I hope that they keep this going, because if they go back to the way it was, like a game against Tondela, they're going to be in big trouble, and we can't afford that. Especially being 3 points behind Benfica. It'll probably stay that way, or maybe we'll make up a couple of points. Maybe Benfica will get a
I want
draw.
it to be opposite.
I don't think so. No. I think that it'll stay like a 3-point gap until the Clásico. Porto's at home, so that's gonna set the table for a huge match. But if Benfica and Porto stay at the tempo they're going, with the morale that both teams have, it's going to be a great game. At least I hope it will be. And it would be nice, fingers crossed. I hope Porto does win Benfica. And hopefully we'll be ahead of you guys by that time, or we'll be tied for first. So that'll set the table for the rest of the season. It'll make a Sporting Benfica game all the more important. So, I'm very, very happy with the way that Porto played against Nacional.
And just to confirm basically what you're saying, I was looking up at the schedule, and Benfica's got coming up. They have Bolonenses, and on the following week they have Passos at home, while Porto play Arouca at home, and then play away to Setúbal, and then the big game. So I'm expecting, like you've said, that no team drops point. Maybe I could see Porto dropping points, but at the same time I could see Benfica drop points away at Bolonenses. So it could happen, but I very much doubt it. And Kevin, I thought the most important thing is that you didn't bottle it. For the past couple of years, for example, let me bring you back to a game at Nacional. Benfica had just lost 2-1 against Rio Ave, and then you drew. You dropped points at the Madeira while we could have gone first place, and I think that was huge for you guys. You didn't bottle it this time.
Yeah, and going back to the week that Sporting lost against Rio Ave, where we tied Tondela, I believe, which makes that all important too, because instead of being 3 points behind Benfica, we could be 1 point behind. So, that was 2 points lost there. Can't really cry about it now, but like I said, every point is important. I'd rather take the draw than a loss, because that game could have went either way. Although I think we still should have won. We didn't do enough to win that game, but
you had one shot the whole game, so it can barely say much.
And it was that André Silva chance with the goal that came up with a big save. So, I think that if Porto, I think that they're going to be hitting the stride at the right time, knowing that Benfica is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I think the team does have that in the back of their mind, but they can't focus on it too much. Take it a game at a time. Get win the next 2 games. I think that we'll win the next 2 games. I don't see us dropping points at Setúbal, although it could happen. Tough place to play.
Porto are known to beat them every time.
Yeah,
I think Setúbal has won against Porto in like 50 years. So I mean, I think
that Porto and Benfica will win the next 2 games before the Clásico. And I think that when it comes time for the Clásico, I think Porto is going to win, and we're going to be at top of the table. I think that we're going to win because we're going to be at home. That'll be a huge factor. If we were going to Benfica, I would probably say this point in the season, with the way that the standings are, I would say it'd probably be a draw.
Okay, because
no, I wasn't even done yet. You gotta let me finish.
Okay,
you gotta let me finish.
All right. Finish.
With Porto being on the road, it could be a Benfica win, but I do think that it would have most likely been a draw.
So it's easier for you to.
But with the mediocre team that we had last season, though, we went there. We beat you guys both games last season, so
you do know that, like, when you won, though, that I don't want to take any credit away from you, but Casillas.
Yeah, Casillas was huge that game, and
he made
a huge save.
I know that you obviously take pride in winning, especially with the shit side that you had. But
pretty much,
really, I think that Casillas was the reason why you even won that game in the first place. Obviously, don't want to take anything away from you, but he was tremendous that game, and I don't think Benfica deserved to lose. So,
yeah, Casillas was huge. There was that that own goal that he turned away. That was so close. Like what reflexes?
Yeah, it was
So
tremendous.
he's like, what Slimani is to Porto is what Casillas is to Benfica. Casa Águias.
It's weird, man. It's weird. But
Yeah, against Sporting he doesn't do that well, but when he plays
yeah, that was
when he plays
weird,
Benfica, he
right?
stops everything. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
hope he comes up with a big game. Again against Benfica if he does start, which he probably will.
And he did
Then,
he did so with that Dragon as well last season, so I'm expecting that as well because he did deny me Tragu of a great headed goal. So, but I'm with you in the sense that I believe that Porto is gonna win just because I'm negative when it comes to playing Porto. Every time it doesn't matter. Porto could be bottom of the table and about to go down to the second division, and I'd still keep the favorite. I'd say Porto's the favorite. But that's just me.
before I forget, just a quick question before I forget. Just real quick on the Guimarães Sporting game. What minute did Guimarães score against Sporting, the third goal?
88.
88.
88.
No, wasn't it in stoppage time?
No, it was at the 88.
No, it was 88.
Get out of here, for real?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. What are the odds? What are the odds, huh?
I know.
It's
Holy moly. Yeah, I think that the 92 minutes that haunted JJ all these years, it's going to be 88 now.
Yeah.
I agree. They're gonna change that now. But I was always gonna say that is me and my way of being. But Brian, what do you feel? How do you feel? Let's say Benfica goes 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 with 25 points to the Dragão, so obviously not dropping any and still being 3 points ahead. How would you feel?
Well, going to the Dragão for Benfica is always tough. I think we win in the league like once every 10 years there, but it always happens to be 2-0. It's very difficult to win there. I'll be worried again. But I feel like this Benfica team's more used to Rui Vitória. I don't say we would win. I think it's very possible because Porto is just very strong at home. I actually think this one will be a draw. I think it'll be a draw, or if Benfica do win, that's me being biased, obviously. It'll be like 1-0 or 2-1. It won't be an easy game for Benfica. And if Porto win, it's not like I'll be surprised. It's something we expect, especially at the Dragão.
Yeah. And Sergio is listening to us right now, so hey Sergio. And he said exactly that because this was Benfica's boogeyman last year, masterclass performances. So exactly what we were saying. But it's gonna be a difficult game. And I lost my train of thought here a little bit, so
Sergio's listening now. He's listening live, Sergio. He just tweeted me that. What did he say? He tweeted me a picture of just now of a Benfica shirt. It says "Tri Campeões." It's for me to get it for my loved ones. Sergio. Come on, man. That should be blue and white. That should be saying Tri Campeões in blue and white.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen in ages, so you still have those blue balls.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Sergio, after the season when Benfica ain't Tri Campeões anymore, I'm gonna say já foste.
We'll be right. We'll be You made a good point, Kevin. You made a great point, Kevin.
After the season, no more Tri Campeões, no more nothing.
Of course, Tri Campeões.
The road ends here. Já foste. Já foste. Já acabei. A festa acabou.
I was gonna talk about Benfica playing Porto is always very difficult. Oh, and I remember exactly. Thank you very much, Brain. I'm gonna ask this one to both of you because I'm sure that Kevin watched Benfica in the Champions League, and this is important for my train of thought here because I think that Benfica plays better when they're the underdogs every time. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Let's go first.
I think so. You can go first, Brian, because it's your club. So I'll touch on that after.
I think so. I think we played better. I think there's less expectation on us when we're the underdog, so it's less pressure. Porto might be under some pressure still. I don't think Porto is going to drop any points until we get there. But, being 3 points behind might add some pressure to Porto. It's not all perfect there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's better to be the underdog. I think we'll come away with at least a point. At least that's what I expect this year. And we'll see what happens when the time comes.
Kevin.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Okay, so I completely forgot. Is you trading tweets with Sergio?
I got sidetracked.
I gotta pay attention. I was stating the fact, or at least a fact.
Oh wait, that Benfica plays better as underdogs, right?
So, yeah, it happened with Atletico. It happened with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, and it's like that with everybody. When you're an underdog, you obviously want to play better because you want to shut the critics up. One example being, against Napoli, guys, I thought Benfica played well in the first half. They actually could have taken the lead first. I think that Hamzik goal, like I said last week, it really did harm to you guys. But you guys had a couple of chances with Mitroglou early on in the first half that I think that if Benfica had went up 1-0, they probably could have controlled the game. And it would have been a completely different game. So that's an example of being an underdog. And then that game against Stubble at home, where you guys drew when you guys were losing. Stubble with the underdog, and you guys were obviously the favorites to win. And Stubble came out swinging, and I don't think it's because Stubble played a great game. I think that you guys didn't play that well. So there's a little bit of a difference there. I think that Benfica were a little bit lazy that game, to say the least. I think that's what it was. But yeah, Benfica, just like any other team, being underdogs, they do play better.
Yeah. I don't really know why. It might just be because that's how Rui Vitória was always used to playing back in the day, but they always feel very confident and very cohesive. And like I said last week, Benfica, when they play Napoli, they play the typical Benfica game in the Champions League. And that's what I want to see against Porto, a typical Benfica game in the Champions League. They're not controlling the possession all that much, but when they do, they slow down the tempo and they try to attack a little bit. And that's what I want to see. And if Benfica does that, it can go either way, because I think that the factor that Porto could be nervous, it could play out on Benfica's side as well, because obviously don't forget about the big pressure that's been 3 years without a title, and those players are going to feel it. They're going to feel it, especially players like André Silva that are Porto fans, since they were young. They'll feel that even more. Can they cope with the pressure? Maybe, or maybe they'll capitulate under pressure. So it's going to be a difficult game. And
it's a different squad, though. So I think the mindset's going to be different.
It depends. It just depends.
I think they'll go for it. I think they're going to do whatever they can to come away with the 3 points that game. I think that they'll be hell-bent if Benfica come away with a draw or even a win.
But that isn't like what I'm thinking. What I'm trying to put it as is that you try
I get what you're
everything.
saying.
Yeah, and you try everything. You go out there to win. You try everything. But for example, you hit the bar once, and then you hit the post, and then the next play Benfica goes up there and scores. How are they going to deal with that pressure? Oh God, we did everything we could. We hit the post, we hit the bar, and now they just scored. I think that could be a factor. That's what I'm trying to play out.
Yeah,
here.
Obviously.
So. There's a lot of factors going into it. Like
can I throw in a factor? Last season, while Julius Cesar was our goalkeeper against Porto and Sporting, we never won a game. But once Ederson came in against Sporting, we won a game. So I'm pretty sure Ederson will start against Porto. I think he adds a lot more. I think he'll be much safer. Not to blame Julius Cesar for his losses, but it was just his record against those teams wasn't great last season. Ederson played 1 and won 1. So that's just a small little fact, but I'm hoping it comes good against Porto.
Yeah, but that was a coincidence because Brian Ruiz missed the wide open net.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. Hey, but maybe it was Ederson's presence that scared him.
People say that he touched the ball a little bit and made it bobble
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go up.
He
I
did. He
don't know.
did.
But you have a good point and an interesting one to say the least.
Yeah.
But now moving on to the national team, I want to touch upon it just a little bit, not too much. I just want to say we play Friday against Andorra, 19:45 p.m. local, 2:45 Eastern. It's gonna be at Aveiro. And Kevin, I'm gonna ask you what you're expecting from the game.
I think that we're gonna come away with the win in both games. It's just a matter of how many goals we score. That's going to be important. The goal difference, I think. It might not matter too much, but it could come down to it. I think that we're gonna, score 5 at least against Andorra. Same thing with Faroe Islands. There's no reason. These guys all right?
Yeah.
No, sorry. Yeah, that's my fault.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I thought that maybe these guys fainted.
We're gonna score 5 against Andorra, and he just went like, what?
Yeah, I thought somebody fell back because they said that we were going to score at least 5 against Andorra. I think the same thing with Faroe Islands. I think we'll score at least 5 against each club. At least we should. There's no reason not to. So I think it's going to be an easy 6 points between both games that we'll pick up.
And Brian, we play the Faroe Islands, as you said, or Faroe Islands on the Monday at the same time. What are you expecting from this game?
Yeah, both games should be easy. They should be, like Kevin said, a bunch of goals for us in each game. I know Portugal, for some reason, against smaller teams, don't tend to struggle, but they tend not to make it as easy as it should be. But a team like Faroe Islands and Andorra, I can't see us slipping up. I mean, if we do, it'll be embarrassing. But yeah, I don't expect to slip up. It should be easy wins.
Yeah, I expect an easy win, at least against Andorra, because semi-professional players, they aren't even full-time footballers. So
I think Faroe Islands are semi too, no? Semi-professional?
yeah, they should be as well.
Yeah.
I'm expecting wins, and we'll get past that. We'll
Yeah.
see if we're gonna have the podcast next week. I'm not 100% sure of that. And before I forget, Benfica plays Saturday against Santos. I'm not sure if it's gonna be televised. I believe it is because it's gonna be 8 p.m. Portugal time, and that's 3
4 p.m. Brazil. Is it 3?
4 p.m. Brazil, 3
In
p.m.
Brazil.
US. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 p.m. in Brazil.
What day is this, on Saturday?
Yes, it's Saturday. It's on Saturday.
Let me just see if I can confirm that real quick. You can carry on. I'll cut in.
Yeah, well, I know Brazil time is the same time as Bermuda, so it will be at 4. It will be at 4 in Bermuda.
8 p.m. in Portugal. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be televised, but I believe, and I hope it is, because I'm going to be very annoyed if it isn't. But while Kevin goes search that, I'm going to ask you one of the, not really a question, but this dude, Charles B. Viveiros, tweeted us, and not just us. He tweeted psoccer.com for Portugal and Porto Ball, saying that Semedo deserved the initial call-up ahead of Alves. Glad to see him get a chance. I'm not sure if he got the right Semedo in. So what would you think if Ruben Semedo was called up? Let's put it that way then. What would you think if he got called up instead of Bruno Alves?
If who got caught up? Which player, sorry?
Ruben Semedo.
I don't know. I mean, I'll be surprised because Ruben Semedo has been poor. He's part of a backline that's led you in 8 goals in 3 games. I'm not a fan of Bruno Alves either. At the same time, maybe Fernando Santos wants to change it up because we're playing weaker countries. Why not risk it? Why not play a few players that's never played? So probably wouldn't be too surprising thinking about that now.
Yeah,
I
thought that he got that wrong. I don't think he realized that he was talking about Nelson Smith, but there you go.
Right,
I just read
yeah.
the and I was like, oh, okay, so he's thinking about the other one, but good point anyway. Then Neil came up with this one, and we're gonna just discuss it here real quick, as I know you jumped in on it. And he said, "Is it just me, or does it look tacky when a soccer player, soccer Neil, really, when a footballer has a number like 99 on their back, 28-man squad, 1 through 28? How would you feel about that, Kevin? Kevin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you hear what I said?
Yep. Yeah, and I said this before earlier today.
Mhm.
The numbers don't really matter. Only one legend can ever wear a high number, number 99, Vitor Bahia.
Yeah.
There's nobody else who can wear a high number. I don't think there's any legend that wore a high number like him, so he's forever a legend.
Ronaldinho.
Huh?
Ronaldinho wore number 90 at AC Milan, if I'm not mistaken. Or 99.
Yeah, but that wasn't for that long. When
No, it
Vitor
wasn't,
Bahia
no.
was like number 1 for the longest time, but when he
Yeah, of
came
course,
back
yeah.
after his time at Barca, he became number 99, and he'll always be a Porto hero. So I know to some people he'd be a villain because they
the
failed the
Fabian.
World Cup in 2002. Oh, come on, Peter, please. In
Dude,
2002 in
I
the
can't
World
forget
Cup.
about that. I won't forget about that goal that he goes, he picks it off the freaking inside of the goal, and they don't call it a goal.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
didn't go in, please.
That's not his fault.
It didn't go in?
No.
Of course.
Come on,
But,
seriously. They
It
did that
did go
with
in.
technology that the ball stood out.
Whatever, that's besides the point. Vitor Bahia is
Yeah.
a legend. That's what you're trying to say?
He is a legend. Portugal legend and a Porto legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm
so
not,
everybody would be against that, right?
No, like I don't like to see players wear big numbers. I don't like it, but I understand it. It doesn't really bother me. But I do prefer players. I like the old days where number 10 wore number 10, and a number 6 wore number 6. But these days you can't do that because, like I mentioned, you have a B team, and basically players can't wear the same numbers as the first team players, of course. So then they have to pick higher numbers. So it's not a big deal, but I do prefer to see smaller numbers.
And like I said, with me, you can also have a player that is inspired, for example, by their parents. And let's say that his dad was a footballer, so he takes up the number that he was born, for example. That's what I took with mine. That's why I wore number 70. So everybody's a little bit different. So, I mean, I'm not, in favor of just putting 1 through 28. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
We're going a little bit off the Portuguese league here, at least the first division. And Neil said, I heard Santa Clara in the past sell their top players to Porto, and they're a feeder team for Porto? Question mark. Neil, just letting you know that is not true. Okay. I asked my dad, and he said that no, he doesn't believe that they've ever sold a top player to Porto.
They have.
They could be a feeder team. What would they name 2 then?
2. I can name you 1.
Okay.
Well, which was the player?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the player?
I'm interested. I don't know.
Clayton. Yep. I don't know if you guys remember him, the Brazilian striker.
Mm-hmm.
He came from Santa Clara.
I don't remember.
Porto brought him from Santa Clara.
Yeah, but not enough to say that they're a feeder team or that.
No.
Oh, they are to Nacional and Marítimo.
Yeah, definitely they could be.
They are.
They could be. They are. Yeah, and they are okay.
You know Danilo Dias? Remember Danilo Dias?
Yeah.
He played for União da Madeira. He scored at the Dragão last season.
I know. Yeah, I know.
He came from Santa Clara.
And
yeah.
And my dad at a point, he was like, they never sold him Pauleta. And I was like, that's a good one as well. So I don't believe that they are,
No.
A feeder club or that they used to sell their
quality. There's just not enough quality from Santa Clara to be going to a team like Porto.
But he asked in the past. And they didn't sell their top players to Porto. They sold one that Kevin remembers. So I'm not really sure about that, Neil. I don't think so. I even asked my dad, and he said I didn't really remember any big name players. Then Neil once again said, does a 20-team Portuguese league make sense, or should it stay between 14 to 16 teams? Brian.
I personally like 18 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like 16. I think 20 is too much. I think 18 rounds it off just about enough for me. I don't want to be like Scotland, where there's just 12 teams. And the teams have to play each other like 3 times. I'm not a fan. I think we're still a good enough league where we can have 18, but 20 is just too much. Or even 16 at the very minimum, but 14 will be too little. 16 will be the minimum for me. I think we have enough quality to keep it that way.
Yeah. And Kevin.
Yeah, I think that the 16-team format it does benefit because it's less games. That's 2 less games you got to play per season. But the 18 I like better. It makes it more competitive. So wait, hold on. You have 4 less games. I'm sorry, because you go to 30 weeks instead of 34. So yeah,
Like week
and
2.
just real quick. Again, the Sergio over here, talking about hockey, and we're talking about football. Eu vou te rachar a cabeça, desgraçado.
The Victorian accent though. That is Victorian accent. Oh my god.
Oh God, he's too
Yeah.
much, Sergio.
And it's noticeable, by the way. Your accent is very noticeable, which is funny. But I agree
That's
with
the
you
better
guys.
accent, Kevin. I like it.
Not really. He likes the Porto one though, like I have. But I think 18 teams is the best because honestly, if you go under that to 16, you can, but anything lower than that is not good, and everything over 18 is too much for our league, at least.
Yeah,
in
I
my
think 18
opinion.
is perfect.
Then we got here Kevin saying, "What's the illness? Pneumonitis or hepatitis?" Georgitis. That was quite funny. But okay. Barbudo Timo asked us a question saying most surprising start to the season and then individual players. So, what player surprised you the most this season so far, Kevin?
That's a very good question, and Timmy always comes up with the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Most impressive, surprising. I have to say Otavio. I really do. Oh,
It's
Maraga.
true.
I thought you meant by like our respective clubs. But if you're gonna talk
Okay.
about overall,
He said overall, yeah, most surprising start
Oh,
to the
okay.
season.
overall,
yeah.
yeah, it's gotta be Lord Maraga. He's a top scorer in the league, and he just slayed
Oh
Sporting
my
single-handedly.
God.
So it's gotta be Maraga. But if you're talking about like our respective clubs, I have to say Otavio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brian.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might as well throw in Benfica real quick. With Benfica, I think it'll be Andre Horta. I thought he was going to be learned out when we first got him, and now he's a starter. But obviously, I have to say Marega because he's got 7 goals in the league. I don't think anybody expected that, and he's been incredible so far.
Would it make me biased if I said Servi? Because
He hasn't played enough, in my opinion.
time he's always been good. So and I
Yeah,
don't
he
want
has
to
been.
say Horta because Horta, I was already expecting this from him, to be honest. I'm trying to think Benfica wise. I guess Nelson Semedo. Maybe Nelson Semedo.
Yeah,
I
but
forgot
Nelson had a good start to the season last year as well.
Yeah,
His injury just
but,
messed him up.
I guess it's not really surprising then. Surprising. All right, I'm gonna throw in overall. I'm gonna throw in Andre Silva. There you go. So that's my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Team with the most impressive start. From Timo as well. I'll go straight to you again, Kevin.
With the most impressive start, I don't want to focus too much on the big 3 teams.
Obviously, gonna say Tabs.
I want to say
Yeah.
Shavs, yeah. To me, Benfica handed them their first loss. So, all those weeks being undefeated, especially a team that just came from the 2nd division, that's very impressive. So, the big 3 always start off well. You can't really say that one's been more impressive than the other because we'll all give our own biased opinions. So that's why I want to focus on other teams. And in my opinion, definitely Shavs.
Brian.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it has to be Charles I didn't expect them to be doing this well. I thought they would do okay, but they've been doing extraordinary so far. Only big three. Kevin's right. We've all had our slip-ups, but I think so far Benfica will be a little bit better than Porto and Sporting. Not, well, I mean, Sporting has been disappointing these past few weeks, and Porto is starting to find their feet again. So it's been pretty even. But yeah, Sharps would have to be overall the most surprising so far.
Yeah, Chaves as well. But Wu, and I believe that's his last one. It is. And I'm gonna throw this one out to you, Brian. Given Benfica's injury-plagued start to the season, what are your thoughts regarding their start and current position?
It's been impressive, and much like last season, in the middle of the season, like December, we had quite a few big injuries, but Rui Vitória just kept us pushing, kept us winning. So for us to be in first, and not just in first, but by 3 points, which isn't huge, but it's something. It's a start. It's been very good. No Jonas, no Jardel for most of the season. Rafa came in and barely played. It's been some key players that we've been missing. I can only imagine had we had a fit top starting 11, I think we would be even better right now and playing even better. So I can't wait until those guys get back, and I think we're going to be much better than what we are now. And we're doing good without them.
Yeah. Then Sergio asks André Silva to start against Andorra. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a very low risk game, so you're not really going to lose much. I mean, if you need to make a change at halftime, you can make it, but I think he'll be good enough to stop for us and see what we can do with him. Ronaldo is going to play, I believe. I don't see why not, unless his knee's bothering him again, which it always seems to when Portugal comes up. But yeah, I would like to see Cristiano play on the wing instead of being a center forward, which we all know he's not a striker. Yeah, so it would be nice to see what we can do and leave Ronaldo where he's meant to play and just feed the balls to Silva and see what we have.
To see that you and Sergio are very much in sync, as he said, I would strongly consider starting André Silva with Ronaldo and Nani in support. So there you go.
Yeah, see, great minds think alike.
He asked, is it time to consider King Jardel at the back for Portugal? What do you guys say? Short and sweet, yes or no? Would you take him?
No, just because I don't like Brazilians playing for Portugal. Of course, Pepe does, but I'm not a fan of it. That's just me.
For me, how old is Jardel?
He's like 30.
No, it's not even worth it. No. Wait, if you're gonna have him, bring him in and be naturalized Portuguese, he's got to be younger than that. I mean, it's not gonna.
I'll take Edison for Portugal.
Listen up, though. He could be good for the World Cup, though, if we needed him.
Yeah, I know, but we got to think long term here. Most of our defenders are in their 30s, so we got to start thinking long term. Semedo needs to pick it up. Ruben Semedo needs to pick it up.
Yeah, we have good enough young Portuguese centre backs to learn to grow. I don't think Jardel is that necessary, And now we finally have a striker in André Silva, and I definitely think he should start. I just want to throw that in there. Finally, we have a very good striker. André Silva is going to be a star. I hope he leaves Porto very soon, and I think it's going to be great for Portugal.
I'm going to throw this one out there before we continue with the other questions, because I got one of my own. Would you guys take Ederson for Portugal?
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of Brazilians, but I'm not going to lie. I would love to have Ederson in goal. Just because I don't like Patricio too much, and I think Ederson is going to be one of the top goalkeepers in the world very soon.
Kevin?
We have José Sá. I'm sorry, I was muted. We have we have José Sá, so I think that we don't really need Ederson.
That's true.
To be honest, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a good goalie because he is, but if José Sá doesn't live up to his potential, I guess you could bring in Ederson, but we can't be on the trend of naturalizing all these players. I know that some countries do it because they really need to. Because they're not that great.
But we don't need to.
Yeah, so if we have to absolutely do it, that's fine with me. But I don't really see a need for the goalkeeper spot to be naturalizing anybody.
This is where I completely disagree with both of you. he's regarded as Brazil's one of the top best goalkeepers, and they'll certainly take him. So that's why I don't even think it's a question that he's gonna come to Portugal, because I think that he knows that he's
Yeah,
gonna be in Brazil.
he will. Yeah,
That's
I
why
just retweeted
I
that.
would like to give him the option straight away, because I think he's gonna be a very, 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 very big goalkeeper in the future. So that's
Yeah.
why. I don't think it would actually be possible, because I think he'd say no, but I think I would take him. I would definitely take him. Sergio is now saying Santa Clara used to be associated with Benfica. No, logo was SLB. Just
Yeah,
like
they were.
yeah, they were. I think they were Benfica affiliated. They were
Well,
affiliated.
anybody who's been to Azores, well, anywhere really, you see a big Benfica population, and Azores is no different. They did have the exact same emblem, just different letters. And yeah, most Santa Clara fans are big Benfica fans, so they were affiliated with us, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, and Sergio, that's why I didn't understand Neil at first, because I always assumed they were theater club to Benfica, and like they
Yeah.
were. So I thought that was weird. And then Sergio here saying that PT Footy Podcast Kevin is the best. So there you go, Kevin.
Thank you. I sent him a picture of a abraço for him, so I
Yeah,
hope he likes
with
it.
Jorge.
Exactly.
And he also said that he agrees with Brian, but he'd take Ederson any day. But he thinks that Brazil loves him, just like I said.
Yeah.
And I think this seems to be the last one. At least I'm refreshing. So if you guys want to refresh the hashtag as well and see if I missed anything, please do so right now. Brian, you can check that while I ask this to Kevin. And Kevin, here's the question. It's from Sergio as well. He says opinion on a playoff type format in like Belgium or Scotland with top 6 playing each other at the end. Would you take
Wait,
that?
what's what I want that format like Scotland?
And then a playoff with the top 6 facing each other. Yeah.
No, I'd rather just leave it the way it is. It makes it more exciting. I don't really watch the Scottish League or anything, so I don't really pay attention to them. Or the Belgium League. I mean, where can we really watch them? But yeah, I like the basic format that we have now. I mean, it wouldn't be bad to try it for a season and see what comes of it, but I'd rather just leave it the way it is. And I have a question for Sergio. I know he obviously can't answer, but maybe he can tweet at me. When's the next time he's going to be on TV? Because the guy is always on TV no matter what it is. Portugal, Benfica, he's always on TV.
Been blasted from Canada, mate. Before I let Brian go, I think I despise playoffs in general. I've never liked them. I think they're stupid, and I love our European way of taking things. I know that Belgium and Scotland are a little bit different, but then again, they have less teams. They have a lot of less teams, so that's why they keep the campaign running longer. That's why they got the playoffs. So I would not like playoffs in Portugal, and I think it's a stupid idea, and I've never really liked it because and my dad had a point, because when I was discussing him a couple of months ago, we were watching a futsal game. It was a Benfica Sporting, and he was asking me, "Is this the final game?" And I was like, "Yeah." And did he say Benfica? And then he said, "If Benfica wins, do they win the title?" And I said, "No, they just win the regular season." And he's like, "What's the point of me finishing first in the regular season, and then I still have to play like 4 more games to decide if I win the league?" I think, I agree with him in a way that I think that the best or the most consistent side should always win. I don't think we need playoffs. So, Brian, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I've never been a fan of playoffs. I feel like playoffs is an American thing. I enjoy watching basketball playoffs, but when it comes to football, just keep it simple, keep it how it is. I much prefer it just how it is now.
Yeah, I agree. So, there's one more here that I almost missed. I don't know why sometimes they don't show up. It was Sergio here once again. He said, Are you surprised by SLB's struggles early on against Feirense? Or do we come to anticipate that we struggled home in the first 10 minutes? I'm going to go first. I think that teams aren't Yeah, sir. You're gonna say something?
Me? Am I surprised that we struggled in the beginning against Firenze?
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna go first, but you can go
oh,
first.
sorry. Well, yeah. Wow, sorry about that. No, I think Firenze actually came to play. I think Benfica was surprised a bit at how Firenze came out. That they started very well. They looked attacking. But sometimes these things happen. Sometimes the players are a little nervous. And those teams are the underdogs, so they do come out very strong. I wasn't too surprised. At the end of the day, after a few minutes, Benfica started controlling the game again.
I think every single team that plays against Benfica aren't as scared in the way that they. Benfica isn't as dominant,
Yeah.
It's because they don't put the foot on the gas straight away. You're always known that teams are going to have chances against us. Am I annoyed at that? No, I just grown accustomed to it. It's happened since the beginning of last season, so I don't think we should be that surprised when it happens. Benfica always
Yeah.
takes their time, and they don't start straight away with the foot on the gas. So obviously the other team is going to get some chances. So Sergio, that's my opinion. And I believe that's it. I don't see any more questions. So let me just refresh it one last time. And I'm refreshing. And then, okay, 30 seconds. Sergio said it isn't a playoff format per se. They would just leave the last 5 games open, and the top 6 teams will play each other.
All
Yeah, I
right.
still don't like it. I think that if you're gonna work hard and play all season and get wins, you should be the champion if you get the most points out of all of them. Because um, it's like in the MLS, you get the top 6 seats from each conference. Even though it's a little different than what Sergio is trying to say, and I get it. Um, it's not fair to the top seed in the East, who was the best team out of all the clubs and played very, very well, and then they end up having a bad 2-leg playoff and they get eliminated.
Exactly.
Granted, it's fair and square, but it doesn't. To me, it's just not fair that way because it's been a long season, and it's just not fair. I
Yeah,
think.
I think it adds element of surprise, but not in our sport. Like I've seen it
Hmm.
on handball. And I'm not sure if Kevin you follow Porto, but I actually went to one of the games where they played Benfica because a friend of mine asked if I wanted to go. But Porto were first in the regular season. Benfica were fourth. Benfica ended up losing on the final match, but they went to the final. They won against Porto. They were first placed in the regular season. Porto got knocked out straight away in the semifinals. So I don't think that's fair for any team. So I don't even like to see, the last 5 games being played in between each other. No, just leave it as a regular season. At least that's my own opinion. So, but I believe that's it from Sergio. I know that he's going to tweet at us a little bit more, I suppose, but we'll continue that conversation on Twitter. And Kevin, I think you can start going through the table like you normally do.
Yes, I'll start off with the Segunda Liga, which I was very,
Try
very
not
sad on
try not
Sunday.
getting messed up. Huh?
Oh God, I was so sad, and I woke up early purposely on a Sunday morning just to watch Santa Clara play because they never
You
ever give
must
on
watch it.
TV. So uh, here we go, and the team that they lost to even pisses me off even more. So Benfica beat 3, Santa Clara 1. That was Santa Clara's first loss in the second division. FAF 1, Academica 2. Just a second, my screen timed out here.
Amazing.
Famalicão 2, Portimonense 3, Aves 1, Leixões 1, Gil Vicente 2, Braga B1, Guimarães B1, Sporting da Covilhã 2, Varzim 0, Friamundo 0, Cova da Piedade 3, Olhanense 2, Vizela 1, Penafiel 0, Académico de Viseu 0, Sporting B1, and Porto B 0, União da Madeira 0. The standings: first place, Portimonense with 26 points. They have one more game played than Santa Clara, who are sitting in second with 9 games played with 22 points. Benfica B in third place with 21 points. Vizela with 9 games played in fourth place with 16 points, along with Penafiel and Cova da Piedade. All 3 of those teams have 16 points. Seventh place, Académica Desportivo das Aves. Let's see who else is over here. The screen keeps timing out. It's pissing me off. Oh, God, this is bad. All right, I'm back. Académica, Aves, União da Madeira, and Porto B in 7th place with 14 points. Gil Vicente in 11th with 13 points. Tied for 12th is Braga B and Varzim with 12. 14th place is Sporting B and FAF with 11 points. 16th place, Guimarães B with 10. Famalicão 17 with 9. 18 Leixões with 8. 19th place, Friamundo with 7. 20th place, Académico de Viseu with 6. 21st, Sporting da Covilhã with 5. And I'm really kind of shocked to see this Olhanense last place, 22nd with 1 point in 10 games. Just a quick reminder, I don't know if anybody knows, but there are some Ledman Liga Pro matches tomorrow. Santa Clara is going to be playing against Vizela. That's a huge match because Santa Clara and Vizela both have 9 games played, and Santa Clara's ahead by 6 points. So just have to point that out. Now to the Liga NOS. Tondela 2, Paços Ferreira 1, Rio Ave 1, Estoril 2, Chaves 3, Belenenses 1, and that was a great comeback by Chaves, by the way. Guimarães 3, Sporting 3, that's an even bigger comeback. Nacional 0, Porto 4, Benfica 4, Ferenc 0, Vitória de Setúbal 0, Marítimo 1. It looks like Daniel Ramos is doing a good job. Boa Vista 2, Moreirense 0, and Oroca 1, Braga 1. Before I move on to the results, Kim Machado has left Santa Clara. They have a new coach. He came from Salgueiros, in case anybody didn't know that. It's their third coach in 9 games. It's a head scratcher because they're a candidate, and I think they're going to be losing steam.
A head scratcher. I saw something that it was for personal reasons that he left.
Yeah, his family probably doesn't like living in the Azores. I was surprised they even actually got him in the first place, honestly.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't like living in the Azores? What kind of family is that? Good God. It's 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, though.
Jesus.
For us, it's a little bit,
All right, moving on to the table. Benfica in first with 19 points, tied for second, but ahead on goal differences. Porto and Sporting with 16. Fourth place, Braga with 14. Chaves in fifth with 12 points. Guimarães in sixth with 11. Seventh place is Rio Ave with 10. Tied for 8th and 9th and 10th is Belenenses, Marítimo, and Feirense with 9 points. Tied for 11th, Paços Ferreira, Setúbal, and Boa Vista with 8 points each. 14th place, Estoril with 7. 15th place, Nacional with 6. 16th and 17th, Oroca and Tondela with 5 points. And last place is Moreirense with 4 points. So,
yeah, that's. Thank you for that. You always like letting us know about that.
I love doing that.
Is this good to know, though, the Benfica B play, because you were saying about, there were some matches the Benfica play.
Let me just check that real quick. It depends, though, because it's just like how some teams are behind a game, like Santa Clara.
Benfica don't play.
Yeah, so it'll be.
I don't think.
I can give you.
Just a few teams, yeah.
Yeah, I can give you that information in just 1 second, real quick. Tomorrow's the 5th.
While you're going up with that, I want to point out that Nelson Smith got called up to the national team to replace Cedric Soares that got injured. I don't know who replaced Adrian Silva. I didn't see any news on it, so I honestly don't know who replaced them. But there you go.
I'm got the games up, Kevin. If you want me to say it.
Go ahead because I can't find it.
October 5th is Sporting Covilha against Académica. The 8th is Gil Vicente versus Olhanense, Friamundo versus Viseu, and then the 9th you have Aves versus Sporting B, Sporting Covilha versus Famalicão, União de Madeira versus Cova da Piedade, and you have Vizela versus Santa Clara, like you were saying. That's on October 9th.
That's the big one. And I think that's
they played that on the 9th?
Yeah, on the 9th.
Okay, because the commentator on Sunday said Santa Clara played Wednesday, but I can see the mistake because it was BTV after all. So
Fuck off. But yeah, that's it, right? I don't think there's much to add. You guys want to say anything?
No,
just I want to thank everybody for listening. Timmy and Sergio and everybody else who asked questions. Shout out to Sergio. I don't know how often he listens, but it seems like he listens a lot. And Neil too. I gotta shout him out. We gotta get him back on soon.
Yeah, we got it.
We gotta get Sergio on here.
Sergio as well, so he can butcher all the player names, just like he did with the Benfica podcast. It's quite funny when I listened to him. He can't butcher everybody's name, but it was funny. Yeah, I want to end this once again, just giving our condolences to Maricuna. I know he died, but
Jesus.
Sorry, Mario Wilson. It's just I'm used to it because they're both called the Capitão, so there you go. But one is the Eterno Capitão and the other one is the Velho Capitão, so there you go. Well, yeah. So leaving our condolences to Mario Wilson. There you go, and their family, and we'll probably see you back next week. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye, guys. Don't forget to debate tonight.